Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be we only have sex once per month. How do I turn it around? Well, that's also known as the dead bedroom. So, this particular email, this guy's 25 years old. He's been dating his girlfriend for about 2 years, and he says that she's rejected him so many times when he wanted to have sex with her that he just completely gave up on trying to seduce her. And he says now as it stands, they're only having sex once per month. And so they have a mutual friend group, and apparently one of her close female friends is actually dating a guy that she used to hook up with. And so one of the things that they do enjoy is going to music festivals together. And so he notices that she seems very flirtatious and friendly towards this guy who's just a friend. He's a little insecure about it. And so he's basically in a situation here. I don't know how long he's been following me. He's got the Audible book. He says he's listened to 3% Man twice. But when I read through his email, it doesn't seem like any of his behavior has changed from what it was before. He also says he works about 50 hours a week. His girlfriend comes home about 2 hours after he does. And they're just so tired he doesn't have any time to date her. So the courtship ended some time ago. But it's not dawning on him that he needs to get back to date in court because he's been through the book twice. There is a chapter in there that says the courtship never ends. And the big reason, there was a video we did, I think it was a reaction video. It was a psychologist or a therapist. A woman went into this question, and I talk about this all the time. It's the reason why women stop sleeping with their boyfriends or their husbands is they don't feel safe. And the reason they don't feel safe is because the man is no longer being the leader, the head of the household. And you can kind of see with some of the interactions here with this guy that she's kind of the man in the relationship, and he's kind of acting like the insecure chick that's hoping to get her to pay attention instead of being the guy that she fell in love with. And even though he's been through the book twice, just like I was saying a second ago, he's not really changing his approach at all. And he's tried complaining about the lack of sex, but as the book talks about, and I've been saying for years, there's three things that a guy focuses on. Number one, a man's job is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. So, what the three H's: hang out, have fun while you're hanging out, and when the signs are there that she's ready to be touched, ready to be kissed, ready to be seduced, then you escalate things physically. Women are not light switches. You don't just decide, hey, I'm ready to have sex, drop your pants, and let me have my way with you. It doesn't work that way. It's a process. And hang out, have fun, hook up, the hookup part is always at the end. The hookup part comes at the end of a date for those guys that are going on a first date with a girl and they're following what's in the book and they take her to 3 different places. Typically, it's going to be about 4 or 5 hours before the average woman in the West, Western women, warm up to the point where they're ready and potentially open to sleeping with the guy because they spent enough time and they feel safe and comfortable being alone with him. And so what this guy has to do is has to get back to being the guy that he was before, but instead it seems like he's on the outside kind of looking in and trying to look for the right moment to just jump on his wife, and she's just going to give it up. It's amazing that he can go through this book twice and he still doesn't have a clue what to do. So let's go through his email, because partly the other thing is he probably feels so rejected and he's so emotionally anchored to that he really can't see any other way to operate, because again, he's become emotionally locked in to this behavior that's just simply not working. And on top of that, again, his wife's not sleeping with him because she doesn't feel safe with him. She doesn't feel like she's with a man. She doesn't feel like she's with the guy that can lead her, that she can look up to and admire. It's almost like, in a lot of ways, she's with a guy that's kind of behaving like a child, or like a man that she has to take care of or tell what to do in order to be a man. And women just do not like that. You're supposed to be more masculine than they are. You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to plan the dates. You're supposed to get the babysitter. You're supposed to make the dinner arrangements or reservations. If you're taking her away for the weekend, it's up to you to plan the trip out, not say, hey, what do you want to do? And so in a lot of ways, this guy has completely abdicated his leadership role in the relationship. And so she doesn't feel safe with him anymore, and they're roommates. And on top of that, what's frustrating to him is she's constantly asking him, hey, when are we going to get engaged? When are we going to get married? And so no guy, whether he's screwing up or not, wants to marry a woman that they barely have sex with once a month. It's like, what's the point of that? That's mostly their glorified roommates at this point. So let's go through his email. He says, hey, Coach, my name is Bob. I'm 25 years old, and my girlfriend is a couple of months older. Just want to thank you for your content on YouTube and your book. I have the Audible version, which I've listened to twice, and the Kindle version that I'm working on right now. Well, you can read the book 1,000 times, but if you don't apply it and you keep doing your same failed approach, nothing's going to change. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always got. I've been in a relationship with my girl for 2 years, and due to circumstances, we've been living together for more than half of our relationship, which I understand is a big no-no. Well, if you've been dating for a year and you move in after a year and a half, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, I've always lived with my long-term girlfriends, and it's been wonderful. I know a lot of the dudes in the red pill community they're just pretty much anti-women. They're very nihilistic. So I don't really pay attention to what they have to say, but I do see their influence on the guys that come to me because they're not getting helped. Because at the end of the day, this guy wants to date and seduce this girl, and especially if he's consuming red pill content, he's going to be angry, he's going to be pissed off. Because this is a common thing that dudes in the red pill community complain about is, oh, my wife doesn't want to sleep with my girlfriend doesn't want to sleep with me. Well, they don't want to sleep with you because they don't feel safe, because you're not acting like a man. That's the bottom line. If you don't change that, you complaining about it is not going to make them want to sleep with you. You consuming nonsensical red pill content is not going to help your relationship. However, at the beginning of our relationship, I'd say that her attraction level to me was a 10. I was doing all the right things. We were going out on dates, and I was courting her, and we were having sex consistently. And now I'd say it's a 5. We have sex once a month, and I'm at the point where I've stopped trying to have sex due to how many excuses she gives me. Well, again, if you're trying to seduce her and you're getting rejected, you're not applying what's in the book. Because if you're applying what's in the book, your girl's going to be wanting sex more than you do. And so that tells me he's been through the book a couple of times, but he's still begging and groveling for sex. In other words, he hasn't changed his approach at all. So the book's not going to help you until you actually start applying it and start acting like the man in the relationship. Because again, the red pill stuff just kind of validates you doing nothing. It kind of validates you being cynical and nihilistic, because that's how pretty much most of those dudes are. And when I see people come in my comments, they're all the same way. It's like they're all kind of brainwashed. They all think the same way. Oh, it's not my fault. Nothing I'm doing. It's modern women, which is absurd. However, at the beginning of our relationship, her attraction was a 10. He was doing everything right. And so what you do to get her is what you do to keep her. You have to date and court your wife. Hang out, have fun while you're hanging out, and when the signs are there that she's ready to be touched, ready to be kissed, ready to be seduced, she's playing with her hair, she's twirling her hair around her fingers, she's touching your arm, she's bumping into you as you walk together, she's standing so close to literally where she's bumping into you. You can use the kiss test. You look at her lips. It's all detailed in the book. You look at her lips, then into her eyes, and into her lips again, and then back into her eyes. And if she looks at your lips, that means she's ready to be kissed. So you kiss her. You're not going to get rejected when you do that. Again, this guy's been through the book twice, and it still doesn't dawn on him. But he's still continuing to do the same things that aren't working, which is basically nothing. He's not dating her, and he's complaining that she doesn't want to sleep with him because the courtship is over. So he stopped trying. He says, we don't, listen to this. This is absurd. This guy's 25 years old. Doesn't have kids or nothing. So this is part of his story. This is why he can't do anything to change his relationship, because now he's made this story. Listen to this sentence. Remember, this guy's 25 years old. Doesn't own his own business. He's just a 25-year-old dude working for somebody else. We don't have time to go out because I work 50 hours. Dude, 50 hours? Really? That's it? Come on, man. And she gets off work 2 hours after me. You got the weekends. There's always time. You work at 50 hours a week. Oh, I got no time. You don't have any kids? You don't know what you're talking about. Come on, dude. You're a child. Throw some kids in there and some nieces and nephews and some dogs. It's like, yeah, we'll see what a man you are then. It's like, you can't handle 50 hours a week and you can't ever find a time to take your girl out. Again, that's part of your story. That tells me probably you're so butthurt that you haven't been getting any pussy that you're refusing to take her out on dates. And then your excuse is, oh, I work 50 hours and she gets home 2 hours after me. Oh, well, we can't do anything. Well, you can make dinner together at night. You can play Naked Twister. You can play a board game. You can hang out and have a glass of wine. Or if you're not a drinker, coffee, tea, espresso, macchiato, whatever it is you're going to do. Hang out, have fun while you're hanging out, and hook up. When she comes home, first thing you say is, hey, babe, how was your day? From this day forward, every time she comes on, hey, babe, how was your day? Tell me about it. Oh, really? What happened? How'd work go? Get her to talk. That creates rapport. But she comes home, you're pissed off because you ain't getting any pussy. You won't take her out on dates. You probably don't want to talk to her very much. And so everything you're doing probably makes her feel like you don't give a shit. You've checked out. You're roommates at this point. However, we're big into music festivals, and we go on trips to these festivals quite often. Remember, he said he didn't have any time to go out on dates, but he's got time to go to a music festival. Again, that's how absurd his story, when he says that, oh, we don't have time. I work 50 hours a week. I don't have time to take my girl out on dates. Oh, well, weren't you working when you met her? You had time then. You made time because you're getting pussy. Now you stop because you don't get no pussy? Hang out. Have fun, hook up. That's the formula. Your job is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. If you were dating and courting her and romancing her properly, and you came home and you were tired and you just wanted to bust a nut, you could go up to her, put your arms around her, hands down her pants, pull them down, start rubbing her, get her all wet, and you could slide her right in, and she would love that. But because she doesn't feel safe with you, she doesn't want to be touched. So it's a process. You got to commit to the process. You did it in the beginning, and then you stop. This is the biggest complaint that all women have. Guys are romantic at first, when we first started dating, and then they stop. The courtship never ends. If you don't date and court your girlfriend or your wife, eventually some other guy's going to come along and do that for you. It's just a fact of life. You don't like it, don't date women. Don't be in a relationship. And I feel an increase in attraction from her for multiple reasons. We're not stressed. We enjoy each other's company. Again, you could make dinner together at home at night and put some music on and just talk and hang out. Maybe play a board game or something. And just get her to do most of the talking, just like you would on the first date. Hey, babe, how was your day? What's new? How's work going? You still having problems with that person at work? Tell me about it. What's new? Made any progress with that? Is she being any better? Is he being any better? Is your boss being nicer to you? This is so easy. And she notices that other women are attracted to me and want to talk to me. Well, the reason she feels an attraction is you're actually taking her out to do something fun that she enjoys doing. Hang out, have fun. Are you having fun at home when you hang out? Probably not. Hang out, have fun, hook up. It's really simple. That's why it works. This is where it gets complicated. There's this couple we usually go with, and the girl is her best friend, and the guy she apparently used to have sexual relations with, which I didn't find out about until a year or so into our relationship, and now it's one of the biggest things we fight about. Why? What are you going to do about it? Just say, I don't want to go with them. I want to take you away for the festival. Let's go get a Airbnb, or let's go get a cabin, or let's go get go stay at a bed and breakfast. Let's go get a nice hotel where all the action is, where there's fun stuff to do. Figure it out, man. Instead of going with this couple if it makes you insecure. You're the one making the plans, but probably you're abdicating that, and your girlfriend's the one planning those, and you're just going along. Like I said, now her attraction level to me is a 5, and she claims she would never do anything to break my trust, and has it. Yeah, if you're constantly accusing her of cheating or being disloyal, and you're always going to these festivals with this couple, well, that tells me that you're not making the plans. And if you're not making the plans, that means you made your girlfriend the man, and no wonder she doesn't want to have sex with you. You don't act like a man. You act like a chick. You act like a roommate, actually. However, we're all friends in this group, and subtle things she does makes me feel insecure. You could be the best boyfriend in the world, and if you're with a disloyal woman and she's not happy or you slipped up, just go sleep with somebody else. It's part of the vetting process. So you getting insecure is not helping you. It's not making you look attractive. So stop fighting and arguing over that. And how about you be a man for a change? And next time there's a music festival, you plan it out. And you plan it out for you and her. And you say, oh, what about so-and-so? And I was like, no, I don't want to go with them. I want just you and I to go. She says, but I want to go with them. I was like, well, I don't. It's like, I want this to be an us weekend. She'll give him more attention than I think necessary, probably because she's trolling you because you act like a bitch so much about it. She'll keep looking back at him. She'll laugh at everything he says. Well, she doesn't respect you because she doesn't feel safe with you because you don't act like a man and you never take her out on dates. And then she won't seem very interested in anything I have to say. Well, that's part of, again, you got there and things weren't good. It's like you're thinking going to one of these festivals is going to solve your problem when just a nice evening at home, making dinner together or cooking something on the grill, having a few cocktails or having some coffee or whatever, or tea if you're not drinkers. Figure it out, dude. This is so simple to fix, and you're not even trying. You're just bitching. I try to open with communication and let her know I see this and I'm uncomfortable with that. Oh, I try to open her up and then complain? Where does it say hang out, complain about other dudes, and then you're going to get laid? That's not the formula. Hang out, have fun while you're hanging out, and then hook up. And I'm uncomfortable with it. However, I think this behavior is unconscious for her. Yeah, she doesn't respect you. She's not attracted to you. You guys are barely sleeping together. And all you do is whine and complain. You don't date her anymore. You don't even try. And after I let her know what's going on, it feels like she tries to give me more attention and put forth effort to make sure I don't feel that way, but it seems obligatory. Again, you're talking her into treating you a certain way instead of acting attractive in ways that are consistent with what's in the book. Again, the book's not going to help you if you don't change your approach at all. I mean, you've been trying it your way for a long time and it's not working. Especially since we're not having sex. She doesn't have many other friends besides that girl, and it doesn't look like they'll be breaking up anytime soon. Meanwhile, my girl is constantly asking me when I'm going to propose to her. When I think about this situation, I have doubts. Well, I definitely would not propose to a woman you're only fucking once a month. That's ridiculous. That doesn't even qualify as a friends of benefits. That's like an occasional bust a nut release. Maybe she's just giving you a mercy fuck once a month to shut you up. This isn't all, though. She's a teacher, and there's a child in her class that she loves. Her parents are divorced and don't see each other, and she says she wants to be part of this kid's life, which has led to the father having her number and sending her cute videos of her son, inviting her to his soccer games. He says I can come too, but as you can imagine, I'm not interested. But I'll go because I don't want to leave her alone with him. So your girlfriend completely is the dude in the relationship. You're just like along for the ride. You're like an observer sitting on the outside looking in. I see the text and he's respectful. However, I'm still uncomfortable with the situation. I personally feel the only child she should be involved with outside of the classroom is mine. I don't know how to stop these situations from happening and affecting our relationship. Hang out, have fun, hook up. You got to start dating and courting your girlfriend again, dude. Because if you don't, eventually one of these other guys is going to get freed up and then he's going to start fucking your girl. And then she's going to leave you and go be with him. That's going to happen if you don't start dating and courting her. And it'll either happen before you get married or after you get married because again, I don't see any change in any of your behavior. I just see a lot of bitching and a lot of complaining, and it's all her fault. And you're not even dating her. The courtship never ends. When I do phone sessions with guys that are long-term relationships, they all do the same two things. Number one, they don't date and court their girlfriend or their wife anymore. That courtship stopped. And number two, they don't make her feel heard and understood. And making her feel heard and understood does not mean bitching about other men that she's talking to or that she used to sleep with. Because all that does is make you look like a needy, insecure jackass. And like you're threatened by every other dude. Instead of seeing yourself as a prize and a catch. You have to start dating and courting her, dude. There's no way around it. If you don't want to date and court her, don't be in a relationship. She constantly says that she doesn't want to choose between her best friend and me. And if she, can you just imagine how many times has this guy had this conversation about this other guy? And if she had to, she would choose me, but I think the way she says it is designed to make me feel guilty and implies she'll resent me for it. Again, you're not acting like a man. You're acting like a child, like a needy, insecure little girl. When I know our relationship would be that much easier if these situations were non-existent. Well, again, take her to go do something with you and her. Make the date, plan it out, figure it out, go do something fun. I love this girl. I just don't know how I can move past these things without feeling resentment and if her behavior doesn't change. Again, the courtship never ends, and you ended the courtship, and it doesn't seem like you're interested in restarting it other than going to these music festivals. And if you're not going to change it, it's like you might as well tap out now, because eventually your girl is going to leave you. She does everything right on paper. However, with body language, it feels like she's towing the line. And I don't want to feel this way in a relationship, and it seems hard to leave because we live together. Back to the big no-no. Again, it's where you went wrong is you stopped dating her. It's pretty simple. And I don't know why, but you still haven't started dating her. And you complaining about not getting enough pussy is, again, you're not dating and courting her. She doesn't feel safe. You're not being a man. You're complaining about other dudes. There's no intimacy. You're not taking the time to make her feel heard and understood. You're not even having fun together. You're just roommates that are kind of pissed off at each other. Please let me know what to do. Well, it's in the book. Again, if you're just going to continue to ignore it, I don't understand why you're surprised nothing is changing. Reading the book does not fix your relationship. You have to fix your relationship. You must participate in your own rescue. And you're not. You're not doing anything. You're not even lifting a finger. It's like you read the book, and for whatever reason, you're sitting on the sidelines waiting to do anything. And then you're complaining nothing's changed. Again, life requires your participation. Your relationship requires your participation. And right now, you're just like the gay male girlfriend that tags along, that she kind of resents. Please let me know what to do. I know you get a lot of emails. I'd love a direct response from you because you're one of my idols. But again, bro, if you don't do what's in the book, if you don't do what's in the videos, it's like you should not be surprised that nothing's getting better. I'll continue to read your book until I've read it 15 times, and it's a lifestyle. It's like, again, you gotta do these things. You got to plan time with your girl. You got to plan time with your friends. You got to plan time with your family. And again, one of the most absurd things I read in a long time is telling me that you work 50 hours a week and just don't have time to date. It's like, that's ridiculous. You guys live together. You could be having dates at home, making dinner together, just spending time together and having fun. Again, what is the formula? Hang out, have fun while you're hanging out, and hook up when the signs are there that she's ready to be touched, ready to be kissed, ready to be seduced. So if you got a similar problem to this guy and you want to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching icon at the top of your screen on any page, and book a coaching session with yours truly. And if you guys haven't already signed up for our paying members-only content, there are links in the description of this video. You can subscribe to watch the videos on YouTube for members only. You could subscribe and watch the members-only videos on Spotify if you would rather watch on Spotify. And if you sign up to watch the members-only content on our website, you can just click understandingrelationships.com, go to the plans tab when you get there, or click the link in the video description. And you can sign up and do a 7-day free trial so you can check out what content you get. You can do a monthly plan or an annual plan. With an annual plan, you get a 25% discount at the end of this 7-day free trial. And so you typically get about 5 extra video newsletters per week, similar to this one, that include the email analysis. If you just want to watch videos or listen to audio, I would suggest you probably do YouTube or Spotify for that. If you subscribe on the website, you won't have access to YouTube or Spotify. If you subscribe on Spotify, you have access to Spotify, not YouTube or the website. Some people have been subscribing and thinking if you subscribe on YouTube, it gives you access to Spotify, which I don't know why they think that, but So you get 5 additional video coaching newsletters per week. We have a weekly 3% Man study group podcast. We have a weekly Mastering Yourself study group podcast where we go page by page and discuss the stuff in the book in detail. We also have the full viewer questions podcast and any special videos that we do from time to time. We've got the Menendez trial. That's a really interesting one we did with the girls. About a 2-hour podcast where we did on all the information. And that was eye-opening for me, having grown up in the 80s and remember that case when it was on TV. And then now hearing all the stuff that was known back then, but the media just kind of covered it up and presented a narrative to us. And so that was pretty interesting. The girls were really into it. And it's a lot of fun when all the girls are really into the topic because they had a lot of good information, good opinions. And so stuff like that obviously will be members only as well. Again, in the description there is a link, or you can go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab when you get there, and do a 7-day free trial. Until next time, I will talk to you guys soon.